What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Techbud Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us for another Sunday Stock Talk. So if you guys don't know what a Sunday Stock Talk is, it's basically a recap on last week's trading, what to kind of look forward to for this upcoming weekend. For those that are kind of listening to this, we're going to have a couple people that are going to be tuning in live. So if you would ever like to join us live, Sunday Stock Talks for our group are held I usually provide the link to either our Facebook platform for Techbud Solutions or the group chat platform. And it looks like we have a couple of people starting to tune in. So thank you guys again so much for taking time out of your Sunday and joining us, right? So I'm going to wait for a good amount of people. Once we get above 30, then I'll start. Okay, we're above 30. So I'm going to go ahead and see all the comments. So if you guys have any questions, we are going to have a question portion. Please just, if you have like important questions that you guys would like me to answer, and if you guys really want me to answer them, then just wait for the question portion. I'm going to do a little intro, talk about last week's trading, and then I'll start answering some questions. So if you guys can do that, I'll definitely try my best to answer all of your guys' questions. But there is a live chat platform that I do have access to right now. Or you guys can message me. Everyone try to message me just through one single chat, which is a live chat through the YouTube live stream. You can try messaging me through the Techbud Solutions or Facebook, but it's not 100% sure that I'm going to answer it, right? So again, thank you guys again so much for taking time out of your Sunday. I really do appreciate it. We've had such a huge increase in members that have joined these this past week. We now average at around 100 members that join every single day. So I think that's a beautiful thing. It's amazing, you know, waking up and seeing the amount of just people that are so motivated and that are so touched by the videos that I've been able to make and like how I kind of like explain things. So I guess I've created a style of explaining myself or explaining my trades that I wasn't very aware of, right? It really started with how the group started was, you know, just sharing my best practices. I started the group in effort to, you know, surround yourself with like-minded individuals that can share best practices. And I think, you know, if you surround yourself, how they say, right, the people you surround yourself with or your friends that you surround yourself with are usually what, you know, play as an example or kind of resemble, you know, who you are, right? So, you know, you have your friends that you hang out with and that you have fun and that's great, right? But now you have this group that you can associate yourself with that are here to, you know, be a part of your success and try to share best practices. And if you have any questions or any suggestions, then, you know, this is definitely the group I think to be in. It's a free group you can join. So if you guys haven't done so already, the link is provided for you down below. And I'd love to, you know, be a part of your success in any way that I can. I've been trying to catch up with emails. After my email server crashed, I didn't have access to it for 2 days and it fell under over 300 emails I received, and ever since then I've been trying to catch up. So I really do apologize for all those that have emailed me. I do respond to them personally. I really like reading your messages, and it's, you know, very inspiring. It's amazing that, you know, all you guys that are watching. So there's right now currently 61 of you, and it is amazing that I think that you guys have your own lives and, you know, your own careers going. You know, you guys are doing your own things. Some as young as that I've seen, 14, and you know, the age within Techbud Solutions is so broad, and I think that's a beautiful thing because now people with, you know, real experience can actually share best practices with newcomers that are 14, 13, whatever the age, you know, that you join Techbuds with your parents' permission, right? I think it's such an amazing thing that I've created, not really this platform, but I've really just, yeah, put the platform out there that is labeled as a clear and simple group where we share best practices, and now these two individuals can meet and learn from one another and benefit one another. And I think that's the whole point of this group. So we did have one encounter this week, and I really do apologize for those that read those messages, but there was this individual that started spamming, right? Started telling people to trade a certain stock, and again, TechBuds is not a group where I'm going to be telling you, or any member should be telling anyone to trade this specific stock. If you see any member within TechBuds that is telling you you should trade this stock, or if anyone watching thinks that they can join this group and can manipulate it, you know, you can join this group, and if you get in, then, you know, you'll be telling people to get in. But I'm telling you, as the administrator of this group, to be successful when it comes to trading, you should never trade based on anyone's suggestions, not mine, not anyone, not and no one should tell you what you should be trading in. If you don't see the potential in and you are not experienced enough to label it or identify it as a good investment, then please do yourself, just save yourself the hassle and save yourself the money loss. Avoid these individuals. Notify me. Notify. There's different people within this group that are pretty active and that reach out to me. Justin Lawrence is one of the huge administrators, or one of the huge leaders within the swing trading group chat. Reach out to him if you think someone in this group is, in a sense, trying to take advantage or of any member within this group, or sharing ideas that are not ideas but are trying to manipulate, the market, in effort for their own gain. So we are, as this group continues to grow, we are going to encounter these individuals, and I want to make sure that I stop them as best I can. But sometimes it is a little bit more difficult. So the best way that we can avoid them is, they can message and they can do whatever they want within this group chat, and we'll, at the end of the day, take care of it, right? But I want to make sure that if anyone is telling you, like, no, whatever it is that you're talking is, whatever it is that you're saying is not correct, and what I'm saying is correct, and you should invest your money in this. When anyone tells you to invest in a certain stock, that should be a red light telling you that no, that there's something wrong going on. Again, with this group, what it is designed for, it is to learn the basics and fundamentals of trading penny stocks. I repeat that, and I emphasize on that so much because I want to make sure that every member of this group, or this, you know, platform that I've created, an effort to link us all together, ends up, not being there, or not being there tomorrow, that you guys at least have the education, or the experience on how to identify a good stock and a bad stock, and you can continue sharing your best practices with members within your own, just with your peers, right? I want to make sure that you guys learn as much as you guys can while we have this group, and I want to continue growing this group as much as I can. But I want to emphasize on you guys truly understanding what it is that you guys trade, and being able to identify good stocks, and being able to identify bad stocks, and when they have potential, when they don't, using different indicators. And that's why I create these videos, so you guys can learn from my best practices, learn from what I use. And there's so many people within this group that I can't keep up with because of what they're putting in. But I'm not the only one that is going to be here to help you. There's a lot of people that, if you see kind of their roadmap of, or their track sheet of what it is that they're trading and what it is that they're sharing, very intelligent people within this group that you can, in a sense, follow them or reach out to them. I'm sure they'd be delighted to help you any way that they can. This is a group where we're friends, we're, in a sense, coworkers, and I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable reaching out to me if you guys ever have any questions. Again, you guys have to understand that it is a little bit more difficult for me to get back to you, and it might take a little bit longer. So reaching out to a fellow, member or coworker within this group is definitely not, a bad idea, especially for those that you see, do well and have potential, and definitely, like, not just say that they do well, but you can see that there's some sort of, just, I don't know how to say, just certain strategy that they use, or a certain technique that you appreciate or that you respect, and take a step forward and reach out to them. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to make sure that you guys can utilize this group to the fullest potential, and I want to make sure that you guys feel safe within this group, and that you guys feel appreciated. And I want to thank. I wish I could thank each and every one of you for joining this group. I really do appreciate all the kind words that you guys have said. I've never been part of such a amazing group, and this group is something that I created just out of nothing, right? And it's developed to this thing that's been a huge part of my life, that, in a sense, is me as of now. And I get to share it with every single one of you. And I look, you know how people, like, on social media put, like, they don't look forward to, like, Monday and stuff like that. And I look forward to Monday, in a sense, working with you guys. First of all, because I love being able to hang out with you guys and just talk to you guys. But also, we make money together and we have such a good time. So I wish I could meet every single one of you. I mean, maybe later on we can, but I just really wanted to start off that video and make sure, again, it's still pretty early in the year. So making sure that we start off the year and start off right, for those that are new to investing, understanding what the principles are for, you know, investing in what you should and shouldn't be looking for and what are red lights and green lights and stuff like that. So I do have a series of videos that I've been able to add to my YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't done so already, feel free to check them out. But they're under helpful videos, and they're like, support and resistance levels. Like, what is that? What is an EMA and SMA? That was a really big video that was being suggested by Jose Matos, if I'm not mistaken. That's his last name. But again, any videos that you guys, there is a couple videos that I've read that I've screenshotted that I really want to make. And, you guys suggest so many things that sometimes it's not that I get overwhelmed, but it's just so much information. I want to answer all of you guys, but it's a little bit harder sometimes for me to keep up. So again, continue reaching out to me. I'm really not offended. I love how consistent, and how eager you guys are to learn. So I really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started. One of the biggest things that we're focusing on this week, and one of the newest things that we have introduced with Techbud Solutions, was like pre-market movers. I know a lot of you that have joined our main group chat platform aren't able to join the technical analysis platform or the group chat or the swing trading anymore, or the pre-market movers. And the reason why is because we've exceeded our limit. I've reached out to GroupMe multiple times in an effort for them to just open the cap, right? But they did it with our first group chat, and now it looks like they're just giving us more issues. So again, I'm still working on the website, but I really want to open that up for each and every one of you. And again, what we started off this week was talking about pre-market movers, not telling you what it is to trade, but telling you some stocks that are in a sense in the red or in the green, but have high volume. And that's actually how I find them. I don't have any screeners. So for those that are asking me, I don't have any screeners on what it is that I use to find these stocks that we're able to lock in, an amazing 10% plus profit this week wasn't with any screeners. It was based on volume. And I know that's a highly suggested video, and I am going to make that video, but how I use volume during pre-market hours to identify stocks that are moving. Just because the volume is high doesn't mean that the stock is going up. It actually just means that a lot of shares are being distributed, and understanding that principle, that a lot of shares are being bought and sold, means that the volume is good. And if you can catch it at a good bounce, usually when the market opens, there's a huge fluctuation. It's usually within the first 10 to 15 minutes is when you see the largest volume spikes, right? Obviously, throughout the day, there are random spikes, but as a whole, the stock market within the first 5 to 15 minutes, you see the largest volume spike, and that's where you can really take advantage of, profit. So identifying the supports and resistance during pre-market hours with the TD Ameritrade platform that you can download and use is an amazing app that you guys can use, because it actually shows you, the live actual stock itself. It tells you, how it's moving. And before that, you can click on pre-market movers, just pre-market hours or extended hours, and it'll tell you how it's actually moving. And then you can identify with the, education you've learned within the group, where the support, where the resistance is, and being able to catch it at the bounce. The EMA and the SMA was one of the biggest things that we introduced into this group. And how we use it. And, first of all, you need to identify the support, the resistance, and using the EMA or the SMA. So the simple moving average or the exponential moving average, on being able to identify it as upward momentum, right? And that's one of the biggest things. We're using it with our trade on DRYS. We're using it with RGSC. We're using it for so many stocks. And it's definitely an indicator that has been very, useful in our success with trading penny stocks. So it's definitely one that I want to make sure that you guys, if you guys haven't done so, I actually made a video for everything that I just spoke about. So if you guys haven't, go ahead and check that out so you're caught up with everything that we're talking about. But I'm really excited for this week. We have, I'm sorry, a little pop-up came up. We have, a good amount of stocks. A lot of Q1 reports are going to be released this upcoming week. And that means, either big drops or big spikes. And during pre-market hours, we're going to be able to identify those. So don't let it just be my job to identify pre-market movers because of volume, because although I have a good amount of stocks on my watch list, I don't have all of the stocks that you have. And again, the whole point of this group is to share best practices. So what I do is, if you have the TD Ameritrade platform, you can click on percentage or volume and click it again, and then it'll put from top to bottom the stocks in order, what has the highest volume and what has the lowest. And if you do this during pre-market hours, it will actually list the stocks from highest volume to lowest volume and tell you, what's moving. And if you guys can simply, screenshot that and put that, or you guys do your own technical analysis and share it with the group, you can expose an individual within this group um, to that stock and then leading them to their success if they can identify that as a good stock, right? It's how I've built my watch list because of all the best practices that you guys have been able to share, as well as it's how many of you have been able to, grow your watch list because of just the amount of stocks that I talk about. And one of the biggest questions this week was also, it seems that I trade, the same stock multiple times. Yeah, I mean, if I see potential, I set alerts. I really usually use it based on my technical trades. I usually only use the trade based on alerts, and when they were at my support that I would identify as a good buy. That's usually when I would jump in, and I only trade what I know. So trading the same stock multiple times, like, yeah, because I understand those stocks. I'm not going to trade anything that I don't understand. I don't care how much it's being hyped up on StockTwits. I think StockTwits, although it's a great platform to, you know, find stocks for some of you, I think it's a stock platform that's very manipulative. And I think everyone, not everyone, but a good amount of people within that, if you guys read everything that they're sharing, is it's very manipulative. I mean, it's very simple. That's exactly what I don't want Techbud Solutions to be. I don't want Techbud Solutions to be a group where the people are telling you what to buy, giving you false news and stuff like that. I want to make sure that I provide, the clearest platform for each and every one of you. So there is no, gray area within the market. So I can provide you guys with a, proper solution to trading penny stocks. And that would be, knowing what to trade. And now if you know how to trade and what to trade, then, other people telling you or suggesting different stocks that are moving, you can use education and your experience and effort to find and identify um, just the potential within these stocks. And I think that simple solution is really going to help a lot of you. I don't want to, again, subjugate anyone or minimize what StockTwits is. If you guys like using it, then that's great. I do have an account with them, but I don't ever actually access it. And the reason why was because I discovered how manipulative it is. And you can read by all the comments that people are just talking about the stock that they're investing in effort to kind of persuade someone so they can jump in and increase the value. And that's not, I don't think that, I mean, that's not trading. That's um, not, that's illegal. And that's not something that we're going to be doing within TechBuds. Within TechBuds, we want to trade, the best way we can. And for those that do well, it will resemble their hard work and how they were able to identify their successful stock. So that's enough of that. That was just a recap on how last week went. We brought in an amazing amount of profit. One of my biggest days was $1,020. I brought in $940 when I sold NUGT, and then our other prop I brought in $940 there, and then I brought in an extra $80 with CIE, which put me a little over, so 1,020. That was amazing, right? And for all those that ask me, how much it is that I risk, per trade, I risk $3,000. A majority of my time, my account sits over $25,000, so I don't have to worry about my day trades within the Robinhood brokerage company. But then some of my trades are actually done through Fidelity, which I like doing more like long-term or swing trades, right? So again, we have that platform where I've been talking about stocks that I've been trading, and I tend to trade or invest a little heavier within that platform. So I'm going to start answering some of your questions. If you guys have any specific questions, so go ahead and let me know. I'm going to start reading. There's a good amount of comments. Holy moly, there's a lot. So it's like everybody gets into well, yeah. So I'll make sure that I try to catch up to as many emails that I can. I do want to let you guys know, for those that are joining through Facebook and you guys don't have any activity or nothing to show, just because of the people that we've been trying to filter out and ensuring that it's not like a phony account or anything like that. You guys can message me. Again, I want to know who you are and what it is that you guys want to accomplish. I want to make sure that the people that are joining this group are in it for the right purpose, right? So if you don't have anything to show on your Facebook, because and I really do appreciate it, but because many of you did create a Facebook just to join our group, before adding you, I want to ensure just for the safety of everyone else within this group, that you're wanting to join the group for the right reason. So there's about like 8 of you that don't have, like, in a sense, nothing to show. That's what Facebook says. So reach out to me, send me a message, tell me a little bit about yourself, what it is that you want to do and achieve, and I'd love to have you as a part of the group. But again, for the safety of the other members, I just want to make sure that you're in it for the right reason. Oh, so he asked if it was just over, about to start. Hello, fellow traders. What's up? Yeah, support Techbud. That was like, like to know. Okay. And I'm reading all your comments. Ricky, what percentage of your account are you trading in one trade? Okay, so usually my account, I'll usually sits over $30,000. So like most of my videos, like I have the cash, right? And I say how to make $250 worth of profit. So although my goal is 10%, again, trying to be the clearest I can. Although my goal is 10% and I'm risking every single time I trade mainly um, $3,000. I usually, because of my track sheet, I usually make about 7 to 8% profit per trade. So that is why within the $250 a day, that is roughly around $250 a day, because 300 would be 10%, 250 is more around that 7.5%. That's usually what I lock in. So I wanted to be clear, wanted to be something that, I can prove. And as you guys can see, based on my track sheet, I've been staying pretty consistent with at least $250 a day. So I risk every single time I trade, mainly $3,000. Sometimes I do risk less if it's going to be riskier, but sometimes with like NUGT, I tend to go a little bit heavier just because it's something I'm a little bit more experienced with, and it could be a higher valued stock. So if it's like under a dollar, unless I really know the stock, I don't go more than $3,000. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so this is by Michael Zavala. He asked, can you answer the question, if you have a cash account with Robin, can you trade as many times as you can with the buying power? So yes, if you have like $1,000 and you risk, let's say, an increment of $100. So I made a video about this. Um, you can trade or day trade as many times as you can. There is no restriction. You just at least have to have that buying power available. So you just want to make sure that you have the $100 in a sense. So if you have $1,000 and you trade $100 at a time, it takes about 3 days for your cash to settle. So let's say you day trade about like twice. That means, twice, that'd be $600. So you have $400 left. So yeah, if you trade twice a day, $100 increment out of a $1,000 account, you won't be marked as a day trader. But if you have a Robinhood Instant and stuff like that, then they do limit you to 3 day trades. Yeah, so there's I guess when I was talking about the different things that I was sharing about the stock, or the people that tend to manipulate, so there's a good amount of you that were supporting that. So yeah, Tyler Jacks, thank you for the support. Rick too, thank you. Hansel for Fernandez says ASUA there right now. Okay, Corvette is a thank you. Anthony Gutierrez says Mondays are the best day of the week. I agree. I get really excited. John Wood comes with a good question and says, "Can you explain um, why you should? Can you explain why you should look for a low flow with a catalyst? That means like a low volume stock that is kind of plateauing, and then all of a sudden gets a catalyst. So maybe some news or an indicator, or something that made the volume spike, which will receive a catalyst and usually lead to an upward trend, right?" Okay, so let's see what the time was. 24. Yeah. So these are all the questions now that I'm going to be answering. Okay. So this is Breeze. You think? Uh, Stock towards its dangerous. You think things are under pre-market rates, right? Uh, automatically come with a program. It does automatically come with a program. I actually use the mobile app myself. So if you download like TD Ameritrade, one of their apps, I'll show you guys. I'll screenshot it. And I'll put it in the group chat, and I'll put it in the Facebook platform so you guys all have access to within the group. But I'll show you the app that I use. That it comes with it. It moves while the market is moving, and that's where I set my alert, and that's where I can use the EMA or the daily SMA line. And there's different indicators. So if you guys would like to see a video on how I have my TD Ameritrade set up, then let me know. I'll make the video for you guys. How old am I? I'm 22 years old now. So Is there an age requirement to join my group? There is no age. I mean, you don't have to sign up in a sense. You just ask to join. So if you have a Facebook platform, then you should be old enough to join my group. Um, and it's a free group you can join. So this was by Christian. No age limit. As a beginner, what stocks should I buy? Again, that's not a question, or not a question we answer, because there's no actual stock that these are penny stocks usually, that that's what you need to understand. These penny stocks are usually like very unvaluable companies, or not very valuable, so they tend to fluctuate a lot, and that's why we're able to make these profits, because we catch them at the low points and can sell them at the high points. So there's not an exact stock that you should be buying, but more focusing on like how to buy and how to identify good stocks. So when we're talking about different stocks and you can identify potential, then that's when you should jump right in. Um, yeah. All right, my laser says, what setting is good for EMA, please? Once I start sharing my screen, when I do technical analysis, I'll show you on how I use it, through the indicator, through I use Fidelity for my technical analysis on my computer. Um, and then for my TD Ameritrade app, if you go under indicators, or it says add study, you can add daily SMA. You could search it. You can search SMA, and then it'll come up. All right, so Larry asked, do you always do technical analysis the night before while stuck in the room? So I do it both. So again, I have a watch list of 50 plus stocks now, and I perform, again, it's kind of the old fashioned way since I don't have screeners, but I like to understand where the market's at for these individual stocks. So I perform technical analysis usually on all the stocks the night before. So although yes, I'm only trading actively for about 2 hours, there's a lot of work in the back end that we do put in, because it really comes down to how much work you want to put in. So, although it sounds simple, I mean, there's a lot of work and a lot of just analysis that you're going to have to do. That's very repetitive and very boring for some people, but it's something that I truly enjoy doing. So I do my own technical analysis, the night before, and then I have about 5 to 10 stocks that I kind of narrow down that I see potential. Then during the market, seeing with the volume and how they're opening, it's just another indicator that I use to identify a good stock for the day. And usually about 5 to 10 minutes before the market opens, I have it narrowed down to about 2 to 3 different stocks that I'll be trading within that day. And one of the biggest things is, because this group is going to continue to grow, and because so many stocks are being thrown and so many people are going to be throwing, the amount of profit that they're going to be making within a certain stock. If you already have, to not overwhelm yourself. If you look at all these different stocks and you do technical analysis, you're going to overwhelm yourself, and you're not going to know where to jump in, and you might jump into something that you would have not jumped in because of, again, being too like emotional and being too hyped. Calm down, limit yourself, stay consistent, and stick to your rules, and stick to the stocks that you had planned. And then you have a plan on where you're buying, where you're selling, and where your stop loss is, and why for every single one of them. Make sure all the indicators that you have access to show growth or growth potential, and then set up a whole game plan. So thank you, Andrew Morrison, for the support. Appreciate that. Andrew Enriquez, it says sup. So alive 877 says 8744 says yo Ricky. There's a message that was rejected, so I don't know what that is. I have AK on my account right now, trying to don't understand all the settings. So if Aaron Green, if you have access to it, reach out to me and I'll talk to you about that personally, um, to figure that out. Okay, so Joey has a pretty good question. How often do I fail? Based on how you guys see it, and a lot of you guys, and not a lot of you guys, but a lot of people on YouTube don't actually agree with my method of trading, and that's totally fine. We're all different types of traders, but I cut my losses super low, and I cut my losses right below the support, and I do that based on my experience. I don't understand that if I'm able to identify, a bounce, a support, and I can understand that, and if all of a sudden I buy at that bounce and then it goes below that support, why would I continue to hold, give it 2.5, 3%? Like, where are you coming up with this figure of letting it go 3%, right? I think, if it goes below the support, then that means it's most likely going to, become a resistance now and drop to a lower support. So why am I going to ride it all the way down and risk, the actual 1 to 2% just because of the number sounding low, right? I'd rather cut my losses right below the support, and if it, bounces right back, then I'll jump right back in. But again, that is in a sense a luxury that I have because I have over $25,000 in my account. So for those that don't, have that, then you do have to be a little bit more picky with, making sure that you're catching at the bounce. But I think, if you stay disciplined and you stay consistent, you'll be able to identify those bounces, and using the different indicators that we talk about and that you discover yourself can lead to, a more successful bounce, riding it up, locking in those profits by following with a stop loss, and making sure you stop loss, you know, right below the support, or wherever it is that you justify stop lossing out. But I stop loss out at less than 2.5% every single time now. Usually less than 1%. I try to cut my, if I buy in at 80 cents and that's the support and it bounces, all of a sudden takes a dip, my stop loss is at 0.7999, just to give you an example. I try to minimize as much as I can because, we're in this market to make money. And if I can minimize the amount of money that I lose and see the growth, right, maximize my profit, and that's where I'm going to see the biggest return. I'm not here to prove myself to anyone. I'm not here to, try to show off, right? I'm here to make money and share best practices and try to help other people out. That's what I'm here for, and that's something that I think that I've been pretty successful at. So hopefully you guys um, understand that. So Andres says, sub guys, thanks, that's my friend. How about taxes? That's actually a video that I'm going to be making. I've met up with 3 different CPAs, one through H&R Block and 2, and I'm trying to get the best understanding for me to be able to explain on different, just there's so many of us that I'm not gonna, it's gonna be different, right? Because taxes are done different because of your income and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get a better understanding on the different just fundamentals and different just uh, like components that make up like how to file your taxes the best, and what you can write off and what you can't write, because you're going to be paying 33% usually of your earnings. So I'm going to be trying to come up with a really good video for you guys for that. So thank you, and continue to remind me if I don't come up with one, but soon. So yeah, that's Santiago also asked me, how do you file your taxes? Love your channel, thank you. I'll be making that video soon. So Michael asked how many people are on the Facebook platform. I think 2,000 on that platform, and altogether with our different platforms, we sit a little bit over 1,000. So I think over 3,100 members easily now. Okay, so Wilson Ula asked, if I buy, for an example, NUGT on Monday and sell it on Tuesday, does that count as a day trade? No. It's when you buy and sell within the same day, or if you sell and buy the same stock within the same day. So hopefully that answers your question. So Earl Lemon says, I look forward to joining your group chat. And I want to make sure that that's clear for every single one of you. You actually join our Facebook platform, and in the very top, you have access to join the main group chat. You don't have to email me anymore, just because I've been so backed up with emails. So again, you join the Facebook platform. Once you get accepted, on the very top, there's a link that says, link for the general group chat platform. Click on that, and then that will allow you access to this group chat. You don't have to email me anymore. You can say what's up, or if you have any questions or want to just pitch me an idea, that's how you can reach out to me, and that's usually what I get now. But because I've uploaded so many videos that have requested to send me emails, I have been getting some of you. So again, if you guys are watching, join the group chat and then click on the link. Thank you. Do I do regular YouTube shows? No, I do daily recaps. This is by Tone Sprague. So I don't do like YouTube shows. I just do recaps, and I talk about like what I enjoy doing, like cars, my houses and stuff like that. So things that I find interesting. I don't do any shows. So what's illegal? There's what's illegal is when you tell someone to trade, or you suggest someone to trade an effort to, for your own gain. That's illegal when it comes to trading. That's a very, and again, vague, just so for those that are going to be trying to correct me, it's a very vague answer, but it's pretty much that's what's looked down upon. Yeah, so Amber, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name, but He says, since there's a gap in the other groups, can you update us in the general group on something major is discussed? Of course, and I'll try my best. And those that are in those groups with us, if you see that's something, that you see important, feel free to share it in other groups that you can screenshot it and share it in the general group chat. And then with that, I want to make sure that you guys, as individual members, um, you know, make the most out of this group. So, as you continue to build, who you are as a trader, other traders within this group will, in a sense, almost label you or identify you as a successful trader. So with that, you can build your own, in a sense, community or following, right? And I think that's a great thing, because there's so many different styles of trading that I don't think my style of trading is going to help out everyone, just because we're different people and we like to invest differently. But yeah, so share best practices and don't be afraid to, express who you are. So Bree says, how do you manage all your stocks and don't get overwhelmed with all of them? I perform again technical analysis on all the stocks, and with that, just based on my experience, I can identify those as good or bad stocks, and I continue to filter out stocks based on not really being at the support, and then I use the volume or SMA or EMA indicators to then filter out more, and then I come up with about 2 to 3. So promoters, stock list, I don't promote anything. No. Why do I always set a stop loss at 0.99999? Because if you guys have seen like the depth, when I trade, the depth actually tells me where there's buyers and sellers. And if I sell, if they have it at like 71, but I have it at 71.9999, and I'm stop lossing out, meaning that I want to sell at the highest price to lose the least amount of money. And because I put it at 0.9999, my order will get filled before theirs because I'm selling at a higher price. So hope that makes sense. How many hours a day do you usually trade? So I'm actively trading, sitting down and just focusing for at least 2 hours. The rest of the day, I mean, as you guys know, I do answer questions and I trade based on alerts. But I only like focus usually 2 hours a day. So from 7:30 to 9:30 are my active trading hours. So that's where I'm going to be the most active to communicate with you guys. So that's the best time to reach out to me. Can I make a video on your car buying techniques? Love what you're doing. Thank you. And that's by the Tom G100. Yeah, and again, I've been lacking just because of everything. Like, again, I'm a full-time student. I have my job, and then I have this group, and then I have different properties, um, and then I have like 3 other businesses on the side, and it's overwhelming. But I definitely don't want to use that as an excuse on why I can't make this group work. So I'm definitely trying to knock out all the different videos. We have a list of videos that I'm working on, but I want to make sure that they're helpful, and like rushing it doesn't really, you know. That's not the reason. I don't want to just put content out there and not be quality content, right? If you guys don't like my videos, then I guess that they're not, you guys can't label them as quality videos, but I want to make sure that the message that I'm trying to express is properly expressed. So continue to remind me until I make your video, and continue to request videos, because again, I'm making videos for you guys. Can you explain market caps? Does the market cap change in the price up? That's a good question. So John Wood, send me a message and I'll make a video for that. Do you trade live, and is it truly in the moment learning? And this is truly learning the moment. So that's by Reiki Rick too. So that's actually what some of you suggested. So for this upcoming week, just because I don't use my computer to trade, I do more technical analysis, but if you guys are okay with that, then I'll try to do live trading videos and actually be live through the YouTube to see if that helps any of you guys. I did like a live recap where I was actually like, just recording my screen and then doing it. But if you guys actually want me to be live, then, I don't see anything wrong with that. Just let me know. What's after the Corvette R8 question mark? So the R8 was actually what I was initially going to buy, and then last minute, just it's about being patient and letting the deals come to you and staying consistent. Just like when it comes to trading, you only buy when you identify it as a good buy. R8 was kind of there, not 100%. I was kind of pushing more for that deal to go through. All of a sudden, this Corvette deal came in. Um, it's a Z06. It has more modern technology. It's something that I, have wanted but never really taken serious. The deal came in, was in my price. Then we bought the car, and that's it. So I'm going to be making a good amount of videos. Hopefully, I have it for a long enough time that I can make good enough videos for you guys to share the car with all of you. So Lillian Lopez asked, "What is your watch list looking like for tomorrow?" So it is 9:40 p.m. And I usually perform these technical analysis around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning, and I usually fall asleep around that time. So if you guys would like, I'll share it with you guys in the morning on kind of like what I've narrowed down. But I usually share because of the indicators I use. I want to get you guys, the best market movers. So I usually share it in the morning. So I don't have anything right now, but there's like one. But again, we'll talk about that in a bit. So Santiago de Armas asked the same thing about buying and selling. So what are the things you would like to branch out in order to make more income? So, and it's very overwhelming. And I've learned, especially with like business, I'm going to be making a video for this. But it's like, the different markets you get into. Once you learn this concept of like investing that we use for penny stocks, and I've been able to use it for like, buying and selling homes, buying and selling the cars. And what else do you get into, right? So we've been trying to start these different companies that are technology based, that are entertainment based and stuff like that, and just expose yourself to new opportunities. So set up a good group, right, that you believe in and that will, properly express and execute your dream, or your overall, solution for your company. I think that, once you have a problem and provide a solution, you don't have to be the only one that, makes it happen. If you see, individuals that you think can help you or can assist you in your success in making the solution possible, just because, I mean, I would, in a sense, be more called a serial entrepreneur, which means I like to invest in multiple marketplaces. Um, there's people that just are so passionate about one specific thing, and if you can identify those people and you can hire those people and you can work with those people, I think that's the beautiful thing when you see how passionate they are, and how much they want this dream come to life. And if you can touch one of those people, and you can, in a sense, be the catalyst on making their dreams come true. You know, this is actually sent by the administrator during this, Justin Lawrence. He said, pretty much the leader within the swing trading group chat platform, and he sent me this quote, and he messages me like daily. He's a great guy, to reach out to. So if you guys have, the option to, or just access to, say what's up to him. His name is Justin Lawrence. He's in all our group chats. Give him a huge shout out. But he says the most powerful and enduring brands are built from the heart. And if you think of, all the uber successful people, they usually focus on a solution. Their companies usually solve a solution, and they're so passionate about that solution. That's truly, what leads to their success, because they overcome any hesitation, any obstacle that comes in their way, because they know that the solution that they are, going to provide is going to be, it's going to pivot the marketplace, or it's going to be world changing. So, surrounding yourself with people like these that send you, daily quotes. I have a good amount of friends that I love to associate myself with, in respect to, motivating me. And even though if I'm having a bad day, this group can be just that. You can tell us that you're having a bad day, and we're here for you. We're here to continue to remind you that, we are here for your success. And it actually looks like, within our main group chat, I actually just noticed that TG, what is it? There's the guy again that tries to manipulate this group chat. So it looks like he already got back in. And again, I really do apologize. So that's not an issue. So for all of those that, are watching that, obviously if someone's talking about, invest in this and this is going to be, popping, let them say whatever it is that they want. You guys, please let me know. We'll take care of it. But it's, again, just wasting their time. We're a, well-knit community that we don't have to worry about these people. So again, we'll take care of them. We'll filter them out. And I really do apologize that there's people that really think that, they're actually going to get people within this group chat to actually invest in that. So, but again, let them be. They'll get tired out because it's wasteless time, right? Um, Yeah, so I want to just to interrupt to look at he pretty much says he needs more volume, and that's the whole point that he talks about this is because he wants because there's so many of us within this group. If we buy that stock, it increases the value, and if he's already in the stock, then the price rises, and then he dumps it, and then people write it down, right? So again, we don't want to do that. So there's a lot of you that are reacting to what he's posting. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. Just notify me, and just giving him the attention is, I think, going to be a good indicator that there's no damage within this group that he is actually causing. Um, because you guys actually removed him. I actually didn't know you guys could remove him. That's great. Yeah, if you guys could remove him. That'd be actually really cool. So remove him, and just let me know. And if anything happens, reach out to me. You guys have access through different platforms, which I really do apologize for that. Let's get back into it. Jamie Sierra says, "How many hours do you sleep? Do you get per day?" So that's one of the biggest things. I mean, I love sleeping, but I love working. There's a guy that I've been watching on YouTube. His name is like Gary Vanderchuck, and although he has a very aggressive way of approaching things, and he's very just he expresses things with just a lot of words. I think one of the things that motivates me is um, the empowerment that I get by helping people, and the change that I see that I can make um, just by doing what it is that I love. And again, that's, I think, helping people any way that I can. So I've always been, someone that, if someone needs to be lifted up, I don't like to subjugate anyone. I'm not here to make anyone feel, less than perfect. I want to make sure that I can help out anyone that I can, um, if I have the opportunity to, right? So again, I found Techbud Solutions in an effort to that I found easy, right? And I was able to experience because not that I found it easy, but I was able to learn from my best practices. And now for you guys to minimize loss, I created this group chat to express and share my best practices, and for you guys to do the same in an effort to promote growth and minimize loss. So, um, how many hours do I get a day? I usually wake up around 6:30 to 6:50 in the morning, Mountain Standard Time, and I go to sleep around 1 to 2, depending on where it is in the day. But again, I'm not an amazing student. I've never failed a class, thanks to God. But I do always, see or better. But I usually stick around. I like to stay around the B area, so I'm usually an average student, nothing crazy. I love school. The reason I love school is because of the people I get to socialize with and associate myself with. I think school is a great community where people are so motivated to be successful. They just don't have, in a sense, the resources or the understanding on really how to make it happen. So because I have, more resources than the usual person or the usual student, I can, in a sense, be their catalyst, right, for their success when I see the potential in their drive. So that's why I truly go to school. I really don't think I'll ever use my degree, but I love the whole experience. I hate this word, but I love it is no, I'm not gonna say it. But I love the just the whole environment of being so motivated with and surrounding myself with individuals that are so motivated. I just love that environment. Um, but yeah, I get around like I guess 4 hours usually, 4 to 5 hours. Do you use any patterns in trading? There's a lot of people within this group that, because of the books they read and the videos that they read, there's different patterns that they identify within this group. I'm more of a trend or technical trader, so again, support resistance would be a good way to label me as a trader, more of a technical trader. But I use different indicators, not really trends, because I think the trends are more, in a sense, that the stock is being manipulated because they're actually causing these trends. But um, yeah, I don't use not trends, but just patterns. But history does tend to repeat itself, so trends I think is a very useful way of trading. What school do you go to? So I go to Arizona State University Polytechnic. Andrew says you're awesome right here. Or no, it says AK Howie says you're awesome. Yo, bro. Do other traders give you any trouble for giving free advice? I'm pretty sure I've had different people comment on my videos and not necessarily like directly say, stop giving free advice, but um, pretty much try to falsify, what it is that I'm trying to share, which is, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. But again, I'm here because I love being with you guys and I love socializing with you guys. And I feel like what we have going is definitely positive. So I want to continue that as much as we can. So why did you go to Arizona State University? Because of girl percentage? Well, no, I go to the Polytechnic campus, which has like the lowest girl ratio. So I definitely went to the Polytechnic campus because it's more engineer and business focused in my personal experience. God is good, amen. That's what one of you guys said. What degree are you going to get? So my major is technological entrepreneurship and management, and it's a Bachelor of Science degree. So yeah, and so Duke Sue says, "Yo, cut." So I can actually erase or block him, right? Yep, block. All right. Um, so Duke Zoo was being like, ridiculous within this group, so I just removed him. I'm pretty sure he comes in quite often, so I apologize. Again, I want to make sure that it's a fun environment. If there's people trying to bring others down, then we definitely don't want that. What do I think about Tim Sykes? I think, he's a trader. He was successful when it came to trading. He has a different style of trading. Um, do I think what he does is good or bad? I have no, I've never taken any of his courses. I've watched a couple of his videos. I personally haven't found them helpful. Some people get inspired by him, some get turned off by him. I'm indifferent. I like the way I trade because it's been successful for me. Um, but yeah, I really don't have anything to say. He's obviously successful. He's kind of the one that started this whole like sharing best practices. So in a sense, that's great because it's led me to the idea that I can do the same, but in a different manner. I think it being more clear and more soft spoken is something that I'm a little bit more can be labeled a little bit better as. So as a day trader, do you have to sell it before the end of the day? Yeah, I don't hold any penny stocks um, overnight, so I do buy and sell within the same day if they are less than $1. If they're less than $5, usually, yeah, I do. Um, Remove them or end up selling them within the same day. So there's a guy, Andrew Enriquez. I would suggest for you to stop commenting those things. Okay, so I'm gonna be done with that. I'm gonna start doing my technical analysis. I'm gonna be talking about different stocks that I see potential for this upcoming week. If you guys want me to do any um, technical analysis, then let me know. Um, but I'm gonna start sharing my screen so you guys can actually see what it is that I see potential in and how I kind of do the technical analysis because I haven't put any of the lines or anything, so I want to make sure that you guys can see this. So I'm gonna do about 3 of them. All right, so this is DRYS. All I've done right now is I've put an indicator here, right? So one of the indicators or the way I accessed it was you go to indicators and I clicked on EMA. And when I clicked on EMA, it actually showed this spread. This line shows, again, the way that we use EMAs is when the candlesticks hold above the EMA line, that shows upward momentum. When it crosses, that usually means that it's going to start going below. And the EMA, the difference from EMA and SMA, SMAs don't fluctuate or don't move as quickly as EMAs, so EMAs tend to be a better indicator because they react quicker on how the stock is moving. And when it comes to day trading it or using it while you're day trading, then you definitely want to have the most, efficient or most effective movement within your EMA. Yeah. Oh, Mark Lorette, sorry, I was reading one of the comments. Are you forced to though? No, I again, day trading is just who you are. So he asked, are you forced to day trade or buy and sell within the same day? No, you're not. So you could actually hold, but the reason we don't hold is because we don't want to lose money in a sense, right? Because these companies usually take a dip the following day. So we want to make sure that we don't lose or risk any money that we don't have control of. So that's why I sell within the same day, but you definitely don't have to. All right, so this is the indicator. I'm going to change the frequency to 1 minute. The reason I change it to 1 minute, so when you're actually trading live for your indicator, you want to make sure that it's at a minute, or I would suggest for it to be at a minute. The reason why is because it fluctuates, as you guys can see, from 1 minute to 5 minutes a lot quicker. So the reason I brought up DRWAS, we definitely traded DRWAS, and we actually caught it at the balance at 215. I sold it at 232. A couple of you were able to sell it at highs of 240. So great for you guys. And coming down to how it actually played out. So I'm going to change it back to 1 minute and how we did so well in it, right? So before the market opened, what we were able to identify was previous supports and previous resistance and kind of how it was doing during pre-market. If you guys didn't see my technical analysis I performed, was I drew a support at the overall low, so right around this 214, 215 area, right? Overall high, so the resistance was around the 250 area, right? It hit the 250, came back down, hit lows of 215, it bounced. EMA line supports that or identifies that, showing upward momentum. And then where is it most likely going to peak out at? Well, based on its history, right, peaking out at 250, it's going to get close to that. Didn't necessarily hit highs of 250, so it hit about like 248. So it didn't hit as high. So what is that showing? It's not showing growth since it didn't exceed the previous high or previous resistance. So now it's showing almost a downward trend, right? It's down up during pre-market hours when it tried to peak out and hit the same resistance. It even went below what it did before. So it was first that, hit highs of 250, 248, now 245. So what does that mean is it's showing downward, growth, right? The spikes or the peaks or resistance aren't as high. So as it continues to bounce, we want to make sure that the old support is the new support. During pre-market hours, again, it was holding above 215. So what we did is we were at the 214, 215 area. That's when we started buying in. I waited for it to hold above 215, and I wanted to make sure that the within my TD Ameritrade platform was showing growth, and it crossed right at 216. So again, it bounced, it hit lows of 214, passed above, again, this blue line being the EMA line, it went above the EMA line, showing growth, and came back down. Didn't, the concentration wasn't as much as it was before, meaning that it bounced quicker, showing upward momentum. And then from there, it just continued to rise, peaked out at 243, right? Not as high as it did before. So what's to be expected this upcoming week? Is the, next support or the next bounce going to be around the 215 area? Based on what it shows, I mean, after market hours, it actually held again, right at 215. That's, is that crazy? No, we were able to identify that based on previous trends. So it's still holding above 215. So is it going to open like that? Well, we'll have to wait for pre-market hours to see if it continues to hold. But if it continues to hold, what's going to be our game plan? We know that it's in a downward trend in the sense that it's not peaking out as high. So what's the next, in a sense, place where we could sell out the next resistance? Again, I like to play it pretty safe. I wasn't supposed to do that. I like to play it pretty safe, and it looks to be, just not peaking out as much as it used to. So most likely, I'd say 240 is a good resistance. just on this downward trend that it's showing. So if you catch it at the 215, you're able to write it up. Don't be greedy. Be sure to be following with a stop loss and to lock in those profits. So if you get close to the 240 area, then make sure to lock them in, and that's pretty much it. So I'd say a good game plan for me is if I can catch it at the 215 and I identify that as a good pop, getting that 215, stop loss anything below 213.99. The reason why is because it's gone lows of 214, and that's the overall low within this area. And then sell and follow with a trailing stop loss. I'd be more than happy to sell again at 230, 235. And if it goes to highs of 240 right away, then again I'll follow with a trailing stop loss and sell there. But that's pretty much my analysis on DRYS. There's one that's being talked about within our group, and it is FCZ. And what do I think about it? Let's see. Well, right away, I see the volume is very low. This is a day, but volume is very low. So this is not something I feel comfortable with. Overall, the stock is like a true penny stock, so it's less than 10 cents. It's pretty much almost 8 cents. And based on the account that I have, again, not a huge account, but if I lose 1 cent, I've lost over 10%. So I don't feel too comfortable trading with this. Based on what I can see here on this 10-day analysis, looks to have a support around 0.06. What is this? 0.06. Resistance around 10 cents. So it's built a support around 0.075. And if it starts to rise, then just know there's a resistance around that area. But yeah. Okay, I'm looking at other ones to do analysis on. Okay, so marijuana companies are definitely one that are being talked about a lot at the moment. So that's definitely a market that I'd say try to look into, and if you can identify a good support or a good bounce, then make the judgment on jumping in. So can I check out QTM? I'm sorry. And a majority of these stocks are definitely stocks that I don't trade, right? So the ones that I'm being exposed to at the moment, I'm just performing technical analysis. So what I can see right here within this 10-day analysis is, as you can see here with these bounces, right around this 90 cents area, right? And a resistance right around this. I would say 94 would be. So I don't see the 10% potential just because these bounces, volume seems to be pretty low, pretty stagnant throughout the trade. So not a huge stock that I'm crazy about. Does it seem to be one that has potential? Well, it has pretty big drops. So if you can catch it in one of those drops, then maybe you can do good. But overall, has lows within this 3-month analysis of about 75, highs of nearly about $1. So I think the price is too high based on where QTM stands. I'm going to do CERU and then NAC, and then we should be good. So I'm sorry, I was reading some of the things at this group that was going on in the group chat. So and okay, this is one that had a huge drop. It's one that was being talked a lot about. It's one that we actually traded a couple of days ago that we did pretty well on. But it actually bounced, and I actually talked about this on my recap on Friday. But it looked to be building a support around this area, around the 233. And I actually told you guys when it was dropping from the 260 area, where is that, or the 160 area, that it was most likely going to continue to drop to the 133 to 120. And the reason why was because NAC was actually on an upward spike, and it had a previous support around this area. So again, I didn't do anything special. I just looked at previous trends. And as you guys can see right here, there's a support around 130. So we'd really have to look at this one just because it's been dropping so much these past couple of days. But it looks like it had an old support at 160. And what we know about old supports is that they become new resistance. So although the old support was at this area, now it's struggled to go above 160. It has built a new support around this 150 area, lows of 148, 147, but usually around 148. So if you set up a game plan, what would be a good point? It definitely has 10% potential. So buying it at this low point closer to the 148, 150, selling it closer to based on this data, it says 158, 160. That'd be a good sell point. Follow with a trailing stop loss, and then stop loss anything below 147, as you guys can see right there. So that's my analysis on NK, and I'll follow up with this one. This is definitely one that I was watching for this upcoming week. The next one is CUR, I believe you guys said. Let me just make sure that that's the one that you guys suggested. Oh no, CE. Okay, so this is a 10-day analysis. Volume definitely isn't, the biggest within this stock. It looks like it's bounced already. It's showing upward based on this 1 month. With the EMA line, it's showing up, growth, but because of the resistance that I see around here, this one, close to the 140 area, most likely going to peak there and then continue to drop. So not too sure how I'll have to follow up with this one. So you guys seem to have a good amount of technical analysis that you guys want me to perform. I'm sorry, just because of the time, I'm not going. Actually thought the video stopped. So I'm not going to be able to do technical analysis on all the different stocks. If you guys want me to perform technical analysis, I do daily recaps. So send them out to me and I'll try to include them on those daily recaps for you guys. And I'll try to give you guys shout outs because I definitely want to make sure that you guys feel special or be a part of, this group, because you guys are what makes up this group. So I really do appreciate, all the support and how we dealt with this guy, that continues to try to come back and stuff like that. And I think he sees that he can't really affect us, right? Because of what we are. So again, notify me if you guys can do anything about it, great, but don't get too into it. There's no reason to get frustrated with this guy or whoever he is, because just don't waste your time with us. These people are, really just want attention and want to benefit from our loss, right? And let's not give them any attention. We'll make sure we take care of it. Let's stick to the rules. So again, stay consistent. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions you guys would recommend for me, you guys know how to reach out to me. My email is provided for you down below. So it's techbud@mail.com. If you guys would like to join this group chat platform, it is going to be provided for you for down below. It's the Facebook group. And then within that, you can actually click and it's going to provide you with the Facebook link to join. So I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you guys again, like clicking and accepting every single one of you within this past week, trying to see, where you guys come from, where you guys are from, what you guys are studying, where you guys go to school, what it is that you guys, do for work. And I think it's so amazing that we have, such a powerful group of people and such a motivated group of people that come from just a broad and wide band of backgrounds. And we all have one thing in common. It's again the want or the urge to be successful. So I really do appreciate it, each and every one of you. You guys want to reach out to me and send me a message to say what's up or anything like that, then go for it. I'd love to just be able to talk to you guys. So I really want to make sure that you guys feel welcome within this group. And if anyone that think would benefit from this group, then feel free to share it. That is pretty much it. I'm really excited for this week. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Let's make sure that we start this week off strong. And thank you guys again for all the time you guys put aside for this video and for all this, right? Techbud would not be possible if it weren't for you guys. So I want to make sure that you guys feel important and feel valued. So hope you guys have an amazing week. Let's make sure that we end this week or start this week on a green note. And that's pretty much it. Take care, guys. Hope you guys have a good Sunday. Good night.